right. Well, let's go ahead and begin. And what I'd like to do is invite us all to close our eyes, fully arrive here, and take a moment, left hand over the heart, right hand over the left, press, and like really put some pressure on that heart space as you take some deep breaths in and out. If it's comfortable for you to close your eyes, please do. For our practice today, I'd like you to stay seated. I'd like you to stay in an upright, an upright posture. If you're not comfortable closing your eyes, then just turn your gaze downward. Limit the visual stimulation and keep the gaze inward and breathe. Gentle pressure on that heart space. Breathe in through the nostrils. Feel the belly soften and expand. Pause for a moment and exhale, feeling the belly constrict, contract, pressing all the air out. Breathe in, soften the belly as you inhale, expanding. Pause for just a moment. Exhale, allow the belly to contract, tightening up the core, really squeezing out all that air in your exhalation. One more time. Soft belly inhalation. Pause. Exhalation. Allow the breath to take on a natural rhythm. Allow the hands to rest for just a moment. Today, for fun, I'd like to teach you all a hand mudra. This is the lotus seed and the lotus flower. This is a beautiful hand mudra of reception, receiving, and it's a wonderful way to concentrate the mind. What I'd like you to do to play with this hand mudra is bring your hands together in prayer pose. So my hands look like this. My fingers are touching. My fingers are sort of spread wide in the number 5. Fingers touching. And what you're going to want to do is start with your pinkies and bend them and turn them inward. And you might find that your ring fingers turn into, mine do, and bend them down so they look like my hands like this. And then do your middle fingers, bend them down so they tuck inside like little fists. You're now making little fists. And with your thumbs, tuck them in. Little fists all balled up. But rather than using an image in your mind of aggression, a fist is an aggressive hand shape. Think of your hands as little seeds. And we are planting seeds of nonviolence, We are planting seeds of openness and spaciousness. See if you can bring your hands now in the shape of seeds at the level of your heart and just press your thumbs where your thumbs are into that heart space. Seeds of consciousness, seeds of wakefulness, seeds of energy, seeds of forgiveness. Welcome one and all to this wonderful space of belonging, this wise environment of recovering our true self, this glorious community of impeccable practitioners. We have been studying the theme of forgiveness, and yesterday I brought forward a very simple mindfulness practice I like to call Just Like Me. And we used judgment as the marker and the invitation to practice Just Like Me. Anytime we're judging someone, whether it's a positive judgment or a negative judgment, what we see in others is often alive and well in us because we are connected. We are so much the same to one another than we are different. The person who is so kind and friendly to us and that makes us feel so welcomed and warm, beautiful, just like me, just like you. That person is so open and friendly, just like me, just like you. Sometimes we encounter people who just can't be bothered to be there. They're bored. They don't feel well. They're grumpy. Ugh. Yeah, just like me, just like you. Bring your hands out away from you a little bit. And when we begin to entertain the conditions that make us more similar than different, these seeds begin to germinate. Bring your thumbs out and tuck them together. And you'll notice a little heart shape in your hands. Can you see the little heart shape there? The seed is germinating. You're cultivating some new conditions to grow. That person is doing their best. And right now, their best isn't great, just like me. Bring your pointer fingers up and together. More growth. Bring your middle fingers up and together. More growth. Ring fingers, pinkies together. Your hands in prayer pose, but now you're going to bring your hands, the palms of your hands away, so you make kind of like this cathedral, this roof, this open roof with your hands. Do you see that shape? The seed is really plump now. People make so many mistakes, just like me. Separate your ring fingers and your middle fingers and your pointer fingers. And by bringing your pinky and your thumbs together just a little bit, friends, you have created a lotus flower. The lotus flower is this beautiful pond flower. Its seed buried deep in mud. And it rises from the depths of its muddy womb through the waters, underneath the shelf of a lily pad until it emerges through. The water cleanses it, it baptizes it, it anoints it. So when the flower comes into the element of the air and the sun, it opens up and it is without blemish. Just like me, just like you. take a moment and just receive that you're not alone in making mistakes. You're not alone in anything that you have done that has been ugly, anything that you've thought that's been murky, ignorant, confused. Neither am I. You are just like me. I am just like you. And when we grow and when we stay open, beauty, wisdom, compassion, loving kindness begin to descend into this open-handed space. When you're ready to close the lotus flower, you separate the space between your pinkies and your thumb, and your hands, the palms of your hands will slowly start to come together, where you feel your ring fingers touching, your middle fingers touching, your pointer fingers touching. And now bring your fingers all the way together, kind of tight in that nice prayer pose. Hands at the level of the heart. Being human is hard, challenging, glorious, miraculous. We are all, each of us, complex, layered, sensitive, strong, resilient beings. At our core is basic goodness. Left hand at the level of the heart, flat on the heart. Right hand over the left. Gently press into that heart space. You are basic goodness, just like me. I am basic goodness, just like you. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out, and on the exhale, allow your hands to settle down quietly and gently. And let's take a few moments to reflect and maybe allow someone to enter our consciousness, someone who perhaps we were quick to judge. Perhaps we had forgotten in a moment, oh yeah, that unskillfulness, that crankiness they had made me really uncomfortable. I'm like that sometimes. They're just like me. They forget things. They say they're going to do things and then they don't. Ugh, just like me. So when we can include ourselves in the picture, remind ourselves we do two things. One is we create space. And the second, we bring forward the quality of humility. In the spaciousness of humility, friends, we begin to create the conditions to forgive other people for their limitations, for their unskillfulness, and we begin to forgive ourselves too. We start to be a little bit lighter, a little more lenient, a little more free. In the next few moments of silence, allow your breath to find a rhythm, breathing in, seeing something with clarity, breathing out, just like me. And notice very gently if you have a tendency to focus primarily on the negative, and see if you can practice and begin to invite into your practice the kindness you observe in others, the gentleness, the love, the benevolence of others. And remember, those qualities in others are just like me, just like you. Friends, we'll end our meditation today with a very simple chant. This is paying homage to the Buddha, remembering that the Buddha's enlightenment was simply the cultivation of awareness. He understood the causes and conditions of what made him suffer. He understood it well enough, not that suffering went away, but that he could meet it, invite it in for tea, sit with it, allow it to be itself, while he carried on in presence, peace, and love. If you know this chant, you can chant with me. Otherwise, just enjoy. I'm going to put my hands in prayer pose, thumbs touching the heart space. Inhaling together. Tayata o muni muni maha muni soha. Tayata o muni muni maha muni soha. Tayata o muni muni maha muni soha. John O'Donohue, I love, Elizabeth, that you brought him forward and what he says about the face that I'd like you all to remember as part of your practice of just like me is this. No one can actually see their face unless you're looking into some reflective source, water, a mirror. But we can see one another's faces. So in the coming days, may you gaze upon the human face. Find beauty there. Find struggle. See grief and the depth of love. And in their face and in their eyes and in the soul that radiates and is the essence of them, may that be felt deep within your own consciousness. What you see in them is alive in you too, just like me. Friends, thank you so much for your beautiful practice. Until next time, be at ease, be in peace. I send my love. Namaste.